Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the FadeAway podcast. My name is Tate, and I'm joined, of course, by Gavin here.
Hello, everybody.
And today, guess what? We're going to be talking about some bubble games, some playoff magic that's happening, and we'll go from there.
Yep, we're going to be talking about who are the surprise teams, the teams that aren't quite performing, some teams we like that sadly exited pretty early.
All right.
But yeah, so as usual, we are going to start with some trivia. So I believe you went first last time, Tate, so I'm going to go first this time. Okay. So the other night, Luka Doncic became the, I believe, fifth player to have 40 points and hit a buzzer beater. Okay? To win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Name two of the other players.
Two of the other players?
Two of the other four besides Luka.
I'm going to say LeBron is one of them.
That is right.
From the, I'm assuming from the Raptors series a couple years ago when he hit, like, the running floater.
Okay.
Kobe?
Nope, I'll give you one more shot.
Okay.
Only one of the players on the list is no longer in the league.
So three of them are in the league.
In the league right now.
One
of them should be pretty easy.
Is it James Harden?
No.
Oh, well.
Think buzzer beater. But I already... Okay. The other ones... So, the one that wasn't in the league is Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And it's the shot he hit on the Cavs. The running free throw line jumper.
You mean the Jazz? Like Game 6?
No. The Cavs, where he caught the ball, dribbled to the left, pulled up, and shot it.
Okay.
You would know it if you see it.
Yeah, your shot form was real weird.
Whack. And then you got LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one was Kawhi in Game 7 against the Sixers last year.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he scored 40 that game.
Yeah. And then the last one besides Luka was Damian Lillard last year over
sense.
Paul George.
It's like you know stuff, and then you try to guess it, and you just completely
forget it.
Forget it, yeah.
Yeah, you forget the obvious ones because you think it's a lot more complicated than it actually is. All right, go ahead with your question.
Well, so this is an odd question. So Blake Griffin has an older brother.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
His name's Taylor.
Okay.
He played one season in the NBA.
Okay.
Can you tell me what team he was on?
I've seen pictures of them standing next to each other with him with a jersey, but I don't know if he actually played for that team or if he just like signed with them but then never actually played.
Did like a 10-day?
Yeah, but then never actually played. I know J.R. Smith's brother played for the Knicks with him, and then he got cut.
Really? I didn't know J.R. Smith had a brother that was in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the Suns is coming to mind. I'm going to say the Suns.
You said the Suns?
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Actually?
Yeah.
Hey. I feel like I've just seen a picture of him in a Suns jersey. So, eat it.
Nice.
All right. So, like we said, we're going to be talking about continuing on the NBA bubble, considering it's the only type of basketball news we have right now. So, as of right now, the Raptors swept the Nets. Sadly for Tate, the Heat swept the Pacers. He thought they were going to at least get one game.
I thought they were going to take one. I didn't know.
TJ Warren just disappeared, man.
He didn't disappear. He just didn't play to the standard that he set
in the bubble,
in the play-in games.
The other sweep was sadly my team. The Philadelphia 76ers got swept by the Celtics pretty handedly. Other than that, Lakers are up 3-1 on the Blazers. LeBron and AD went completely off the other night. Jazz are up 3-1 on the Nuggets, and I'd like to bring up that Tate said I was wrong that the Jazz were going to win this series, and so did our other friend, but it looks like I'm going to be correct, along with the Bucks being up 3-1 over the Magic. And then, other than that, the Rockets and Thunder are tied 2-2, and so are the Clippers and Mavericks. So, let's get into this. Let's talk about what we've seen so far. I've watched, I'm going to be honest, only a couple of these games. I don't usually watch that much of first-round playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I usually start watching around the second round, usually depending on who the matchups are. But, I think we both know the biggest surprise is definitely the Mavericks being tied 2-2 with the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luka is just playing like Luka, playing out of his mind, you know?
Yeah, so the thing you said the other night about the Mavericks being better without Porzingis, or they lose when he scores 30 points.
Yeah, there's like a stat out there that when Porzingis either doesn't play or scores under 30 points, they win. But if he scores over 30 points, then they lose. It's kind of like that DeMarcus Cousins Pelican situation when he actually didn't play. They actually played better.
Or a real throwback here when Rudy Gay left the Grizzlies.
And then they played better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like partially it can be like the star player being Luka sees, okay, our star is out. That means I have to play even better.
Mm-hmm.
That does have to do with it. But also,
I think Luka's triple-doubled every – sorry. He's triple-doubled every game.
Has he?
All 4 of them.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I just think a big part of it is just the system they're playing in. I don't know if Porzingis is quite yet adapted to that system.
Mm-hmm.
When Luka has been playing it for the past 2 years, he is the man. So, and I'm not saying Porzingis is playing bad. He got probably one of the weakest ejections I've ever seen.
That was what, he like pushed a guy or something?
So
or
the first one was he blocked a shot and they called a foul on it, but it was a clean block, and he like fisted the air. And they called a technical for, like, I don't know, excessive celebration, or they thought
player misconduct or something.
Yeah, they thought he was arguing with the refs, which was terrible. And then the other one was Luka drove the ball, got fouled, and Markieff or Marcus, I can never tell them apart. One of them like grabbed him, like held him for a second. Luka didn't like it, and then Porzingis just came over, got in his face, and they gave him another weak technical, and he was ejected.
Yeah,
so the only other technicals I've seen like that, or ejections that were weak, was when Joey Crawford, who I think is one of the worst NBA refs ever.
I thought it was just Joe.
Joe Crawford.
It doesn't matter.
I don't like him, so it doesn't matter if I
know
get
what
his
you're
name
talking
right.
about. You can go find compilations of his worst calls on
But
YouTube.
he ejected Tim Duncan while he was sitting on the bench for laughing and clapping. And then the other one was actually this year, was when Isaiah Thomas got pushed out of bounds, and he was falling, and so he put his arm on the ref, and the ref thought he was attacking him.
I don't think that was Joe Crawford, because Crawford.
No. This is a different ref. This was, like I said, this was this past year. Joe Crawford has been
retired for
a few years now. But he was falling, put his arm on the ref because he was falling, and then the ref ejected him.
The ref thought he was being attacked by the 5'9" Isaiah Thomas.
Have you seen that clip of the WNBA where the WNBA player comes and puts her hand on the ref's hip and he freaks out and throws her out? One of the funniest clips I've ever seen. I don't know. I'm excited if this really takes off, then and we get a video format, which we plan on doing soon. We can actually put in graphics of videos and stuff like that as reference and stuff like that. So. But no, let's get back to the Clippers Maverick series, because I am gonna shit on a player you very much like, and Paul George.
He deserves it right now,
bro. He is playing like garbage.
Pandemic P, baby.
I don't know, if he would have had that Lucas step back hit on him, I would just retire, because that's 3 times in 2 years, not 3 times in a year, really. You got to retire,
yeah,
man.
Pretty much a year.
So, but what are your thoughts on this series so far?
This is my favorite series out of the whole thing, other than the Pacers Heat, but Pacers are done for. So, but Luka has been playing out of his mind, and Paul George is shooting under 25%, I think, and that's
from 3.
From 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that's horrible. He shot, I think I saw he shot 4 for 13 the first game, 4 for 17 the second game, and 5 for 20. You can't expect to win when your number 2 option is shooting like Tony Allen. No offense to Tony Allen, but Tony Allen's a monster defender and couldn't shoot the ball at all.
No, you're right.
Paul George is shooting like Dennis Rodman right now.
Dude, I don't know. I've always defended Paul George because people say that he doesn't perform in the playoffs.
He used to before he ripped his knee in half.
But Oh, no, he used to. But now, I mean, he's kind of just proving people right. You know what I mean? So...
He's always been a good shooter and he's been very athletic, but he's gotten older and...
I think he's still in his 20s, isn't he?
No, I think he's like 32, 33.
I'm going to look this up.
You can give it a Google.
Yeah, but keep going.
But he's got it. Honestly, if he keeps playing like he does, the Mavericks are taking this series. And they're taking my favorite out of the...
He's 30.
He's third. Okay, so we were both wrong.
Wrong.
I
need this. Listen, I really want the Mavericks to win because I love Luka Doncic. But I have a bet with somebody who said that the Clippers weren't going to make it out of the first round. And this wasn't like right before the playoffs started. He made this bet with me like when Kawhi got signed and Paul George got traded there. He was like, "Yeah, they're still not going to make it out of the first round."
Imagine if the Clippers gave up all the stuff they did for Paul George, and then Kawhi was like, "I'm staying in Toronto." The Clippers gave up their future for Paul George so Kawhi could come with them. And be like,
I mean, they'd still be a good team.
Yeah, but
not nearly as good.
Without one of the top 5 players in the league on your team, Paul George is probably top 15-ish. Yeah, that'd be a wild roller coaster.
No, and
I think it'd be really cool to see Kawhi play in the East again,
and shut down Giannis.
That I told you last night. This is my bold prediction for the playoffs. The Heat are going to beat the Bucks in the second round and go to the conference finals.
I still think that the Raptors are going to make the finals again. I don't know if they're going to win it, but just the way they're playing right now, they blew out the Nets.
I think
most games.
But the Nets didn't have Dinwiddie, Kyrie, or Durant, so
I don't care.
I don't think they had Dinwiddie. I think he was hurt.
My biggest fear right now is watching this Lakers series, and I don't know. It seems like not everyone on that team wants to win.
On the Lakers?
On the Lakers. Because, you look at how Danny Green is playing, Kyle Kuzma isn't playing that well. LeBron and AD are the only two consistent performers right now.
Mm-hmm. It was 81-50 at halftime last night.
Oh, no, yeah. The Lakers, but that was because of AD and LeBron. You know what I mean? They led the charge.
Do you think... so they're playing either the Rockets or the Thunder in the next round. I think they get past the Thunder pretty easily. If the Thunder beat the Rockets, I think the Rockets take them to 7.
No. With how they're playing against the Thunder right now, no way.
I don't know. They don't have Russ, though. So...
Which means they're shooting better.
I still think they're a better team with him, though. They don't shoot as well, but if you look at stats...
They still score more, but it's because they're taking way more shots. And with how good the Lakers' defense is, especially if they put...
LeBron on Harden?
No, they wouldn't do that. They put Danny Green on Harden.
See, I feel like if you put Danny Green on Harden, though, he's going to still score 30 easily. I know Danny Green's a good defender, but I don't think he's quick enough to keep up with James Harden for a whole game.
Yeah, but all they have to do is keep him on the three-point line and hope he shoots poorly like he usually does. Mm-hmm. Because Anthony Davis is going to send Harden if he tries to come into the paint. So
the front court of AD and JaVale and Dwight Howard, those are 3 of the top shot blockers in the league. And Dwight Howard has played...
I don't know about Dwight Howard.
Oh, yeah. Dwight Howard's played over his expectations by far. Yes.
During the bubble and during the regular season, yes. But during the playoffs, I don't know if he's been doing much.
And they need to get JR in there. Get him dropping 20+.
Deion Waiters has been playing really well. At least he did in the bubble. I don't know how much he's playing in the actual playoffs. Because like I said, I've only watched a couple of games. I watched the beginning of the first game about to halftime of the Lakers-Blazers game when the Blazers won the first game. And then I watched the when it was 1-1 for the Jazz and Nuggets, and I watched the Jazz win. Which there was one game that the Jazz had where Rudy Gobert was having himself a game. He was getting putback dunks, blocks, everything. So, I don't know. I'm excited to see. Usually the Jazz don't make it past the second round. Who will they go against if they make it past the first round?
The Mavericks or the Clippers?
Mavericks or the Clippers?
I
don't
think
know.
Jazz Mavericks would be a really good series.
Yeah, but I don't think the Jazz have the versatility to face the Clippers. That's the thing. Because people don't understand is just because a team makes it past the first round doesn't mean they're going to beat their next opponent, which I know that's obvious. But what I mean by that is, like, matchups are very huge. Like, a team can outmatch another team purely just because of their starting five, even though they're not overall a better team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like the Jazz don't have like, Joe Ingles isn't going to guard Kawhi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And neither is what's his name?
That's I think that's a big thing is they don't have
Bogdanovich. That's his name.
Bojan,
Yeah, he's not gonna.
who carried the Pacers when Oladipo was hurt last year. But let's move on.
No, that's facts.
But Donovan Mitchell can probably guard Paul George pretty well. But
He's quick. He's a decent defender.
the thing about Donovan Mitchell is he's 6'3", and Paul George is 6'10". And
Paul George is not 6'10".
He's 6'10".
He is not.
He's 6'10".
Paul George is not
6'. He was
6'10".
6'8" when his rookie year, and he grew to 6'10" his first season.
Hold on, guys.
Okay, he's 6'8". He's listed at 6'8", but I'm telling you he's 6'10".
You're telling me he is taller than LeBron?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
absolutely not.
Yes.
But this is a stupid argument. But I've seen him stand next to Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is like 6'7", and he's only a little bit taller than him.
I'm just saying he's 6'10".
He's 6'8".
6'9".
We'll call it in the middle. Anyway, but yeah, I'm excited to see the second round. I think the second round is going to be probably the most exciting part to watch about these playoffs, other than the finals, obviously, depending on what the matchups are. The East teams are playing really well. The West teams, I think it's still anyone's championship at this point.
Oh yeah, it's up in the air.
Like,
It's
before, I was like, it's a deadlock for the Lakers. But with how poorly they played in a couple of the games versus the Blazers and in a couple games during the bubble, I think there are teams now that can beat them.
They can't. Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know. I'm excited to see all that. Predictions. What are your predictions for the second round? So, right now I have the Heat are going through. Definitely the Bucks are going through. And then the Celtics and Raptors.
Yep.
Celtics are and
That's
Raptors
East.
are going against each other. So let's talk about that. So it's going to be really hard for this Celtics team to beat the Raptors.
Really?
In my opinion.
Okay.
Just because how well the Raptors are playing. I don't think the Celtics are a bad team. I actually had them making the finals. But I think they've kind of struggled a little bit during the bubble just to find out what their game plan is. They definitely pulled it together against the 76ers and kind of crushed them. So I think they're definitely going to carry that momentum. But these are two of the three sweeps, right? Yeah, two of the three sweeps going up against each other. So both these teams swept their first-round opponents. So they both have that momentum going in. They haven't lost a game, now they're of them. So one of them in that first game is going to lose their first playoff game, and that's going to be a big morale diminisher. You know what I mean?
You think so?
So who do you have winning that series?
In the East for the Celtics Raptors?
Celtics Raptors, yeah.
I think the Celtics take it. I think it goes to 7, but I still think the Celtics take it because those are the two best teams in the East in my opinion.
The Bucks have been struggling.
The Bucks may have the best record, but dude, honestly, watch out for the Magic in the next couple of years because they are playing surprisingly well without Aaron Gordon and Jonathan Isaac,
who are two of their top 5 players easily. Aaron Gordon is arguably the second best player on that team behind Vucevic, in my opinion.
And Vucevic, like you said, is the most underrated center.
I think he is the most underrated center in the league and one of the most underrated players in the league because of how versatile he is as a center. Just his ability to play defense in the paint. He's a great rim protector. He's a good post scorer. He can shoot. So I just don't think people give him enough rep purely because he's on the Magic.
That's what it is, though. I mean, naturally the teams that do better are going to get more attention, so good players on bad teams are usually not going to get as much attention as...
Yeah, because people were only talking about the Suns again because they went 8-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, Devin Booker got some traction, but that was partly because, one, a couple years ago, he won the rookie sophomore game. He won the MVP. And then he won the three-point contest. And so that carried on.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, it was kind of dormant for a while. You know, people still talked about him, but not nearly as much. And then this came, they went 8-0, and people were talking about them again. So, but no, So let's talk about the Bucks and the Heat. So you have the Heat winning this series.
I think the Heat go past the Bucks in 6.
So the question is Bam gonna guard Giannis? Because he is the best all-around defender.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not as good of a perimeter defender as Jimmy Butler, but he much more than makes up for that at his rim protection and athleticism in the paint. So I don't know. This is tough. It's gonna go 6 or 7 games, in my opinion.
I just watching the Bucks play, it doesn't. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't feel like Giannis has this killer mentality yet, where he wants to go. I know he's averaging like 30 points a game, but it just doesn't feel to me like he.
Here's the thing.
He wants it more than anybody else.
Here's the thing about Giannis is, don't get me wrong, he is an amazing player. In my opinion, a top 3 player in the league. Okay? But, so, like, if you're down 2 with, like, 5 seconds left, okay, who are the names that are going to come up? LeBron, James Harden, Steph Curry, like Kevin Durant, those names. People who can score other places than just at the rim. Okay, but those same players can be used if you're down 3. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Giannis isn't that player.
Yeah.
So, if they are down 3, they have to go to someone like
Wesley Matthews,
Chris Middleton.
Middleton's averaging like 7 points a game in this
He's
series
playing
too.
like dog
so he's
shit.
playing bad.
He had like 17 points the other night, which for an all-star, not good enough. You know, for the Bucks to go far, he needs to be averaging at least 20 points a game.
Yeah.
And that's averaging. That's like one game he has 20, but then the next he has like 28. You know what I mean? They can't afford for him to have a bad game. Because even if Giannis scores, 34 points like he's going to do, that's not going to be enough to beat this Heat team.
Yeah,
who has many, many scores. Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, why do I always forget his name? Duncan Robinson, who is the best shooter in the league right now, if you go by percentages.
Yeah, he's killing it, dude. He's surprisingly, he's like an undrafted guy that's.
He played D3 in college and then went to a D1 school and then went undrafted, played for the summer league. Didn't play much his first year. He's in his second or third year now, and now he's just killing it. Because he realized who he is as a player. That's the most important thing for these new NBA players. It's not, let me be great at everything. It's
realize what my strengths are and
focus on those.
Yeah.
While also working on my weaknesses. So.
But be good at what I'm good at in games, and then work on my weaknesses off the court.
Yeah, off the court. Like Duncan Robinson doesn't need to try to be posterizing people in the game. He just doesn't.
He reminds me a lot of Steve Novak.
He's better than Steve Novak.
Well, yeah, but
like
he has like a tall, not very athletic guy that's a good shooter.
Yeah. But I gotta agree with you, man. I don't see the Bucks winning this series purely because they just haven't been playing well against even the Magic. So, like the fact that the Magic took a game off them and won it handedly, I don't know.
Words are hard.
Won it pretty easily, it looks like, because I think they lost by like 12 or something like that. So, but yeah, let's move over. So, predictions: I think the Lakers are going to beat the Blazers.
Okay. I think that's pretty obvious, unless Dame scores 75 points for the next 5 games.
And even though it's going to be close, I do think the Rockets finish out the Thunder.
You think 7 or 6?
7. And I think James Harden is finally going to show up in the 7th game and show that he can close out series.
Him and Giannis have the same thing in my opinion. It's like James Harden has this like Marshawn Lynch attitude where he's like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's how I feel he plays. And I know he plays hard and he wants to win, but it just doesn't. Like when the going gets tough for him, he's like, all right, I'm just going to keep shooting until
they go in.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to realize that I'm shooting 1 for 6 and try to work the ball around. I'm going to shoot 2 for 20 from the field tonight.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll win.
Yeah. But so Rockets versus Lakers. I think the Rockets are going to come out hot and maybe win Game 1 just like the Blazers did, and maybe even win Game 2. So they might go up 2-0, but I think LeBron is going to be LeBron, come back and win. Even if they go down 2-0, he's going to win 4 straight. So I see this going to no more than 6. I don't think it goes to 7. Your thoughts on that?
I think the Thunder beat the Rockets.
Okay.
That's my
Which, like, pick. At this point, the way the Thunder are playing, this is either team's series right now.
Yeah.
So you can't definitely say, oh, this is going to be this team, you know?
The Thunder are a lot younger, but I think they have better leadership with Chris Paul and Steven Adams. And
That's
I think
true.
those young guys can, and they learn how to play better without, and I feel like James Harden isn't a leader. I know he's the leader of his team, air quotes, but
I think he just, like, you see points where he's, like, talking to his team, but that's not him being a leader. That's just him being the best player on the team, which means he has the right to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that clip that came around of him and Chris Paul last year.
Arguing?
Arguing, and Chris Paul tried to sell it and be like, let's go, man, let's play. And, like, James Harden smacked his hand out of the way. Like, he's kind of a diva, honestly. Oh, did you see the clip from yesterday of Russell Westbrook chirping at the Thunder bench?
Yeah.
And Steven Adams was telling them basically to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly think to a certain extent, like, if they, in a normal situation, Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook would be friendly to each other. But I don't know. It just feels like Russell Westbrook has this attitude of, I'm loyal to the team I'm on, fuck everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't care.
He burns all his bridges.
Yeah, pretty quickly, too, because you saw they got into it pretty bad. So who do you see if you say the Thunder win?
I still think the Lakers take them. I think the Thunder might be able to go to 6, if that, 5 or 6 probably. But I think the Lakers get past them pretty easily because the same thing with the Trailblazers. They came out hot, and then the Lakers have shut them down the past 3 games. It's like they don't know what to do.
No, I agree with you.
And I also think that is why LeBron is so good, is he can go out there, lose 1 game, and then just crap on the team that he's playing.
It's very impressive. Okay, so Nuggets, Jazz are going to win it, in my opinion.
R.I.P.
Sorry, our lights just went out for some reason.
Oh, that's good.
And then, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, Clippers and Mavericks. So, even though I want the Mavericks to win this series, I think the Clippers are going to win it. And then, so I have the Clippers and Jazz. And like I said before, I just don't think the Jazz have the components to beat the Clippers, so they might take it to 5 or 6, but I don't think anything past that. Your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. Okay, yeah, we're good. Sorry, my roommate turned the lights out in my garage, so we have no lighting in here. That's the right one. There you go. I think the Nuggets take 1 more off the Jazz. Maybe. But the Jazz are infinitely the better team right now. And what's funny is the Nuggets drafted Gobert and Donovan Mitchell and traded both of them on draft night. So I think that's pretty funny.
So, okay, and then the Mavericks, Clippers, who do you have with that?
I think the Mavericks. Mavericks in 7.
Okay. I think the Clippers are definitely going to win this next game.
And on one condition, if Paul George turns up, if he finally learns how to put the ball in the net and can shoot over 35% from the field.
Oh, no, definitely.
So.
And then, okay, so you have the Mavericks. So Mavericks versus Jazz.
But the thing about the Mavericks is, though, that I've noticed this year is I didn't think they had a very good supporting cast. But their guys like Seth Curry and
they've been showing up.
Hardaway are playing very well.
Hardaway shooting well. Seth Curry. Well, Seth Curry has always played well in the playoffs when he's played. Like last year when he played for Portland, he played very well. So he's definitely someone to look out for. But
And then I think the Mavericks go past the Jazz in 6, and then Mavericks-Lakers conference finals. Ugh.
okay.
And I think the Lakers get by him. I think it goes to 6 or 7, but I think LeBron's about to go full tilt, and we're about to see 2016 LeBron James.
Yeah.
And then I got the Heat and the Celtics. I think the Celtics get by him pretty easily. I feel like the Heat are a very good team, but they're so young, and I feel like the Celtics have much better coaching. I know Eric Spoelstra is a good coach, but I feel like Brad Stevens is better.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best coaches.
And the Celtics have so much better, like the Heat are like the surprise team that have everybody. I think the Celtics are that team, but with everybody that's better. Like Kemba's better than Goran. Jaylen Brown better than Jimmy Butler. Sorry, mistake. I completely just had a brain fart.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. I just lost my train of thought. Wow.
So I'll agree with you. So Kemba's definitely better than Dragic. Jimmy Butler is better than Jaylen Brown. But I think he's playing the 3, isn't he? Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's better than Jason Tatum in my opinion still.
Jimmy Butler better than Jason Tatum?
Yeah,
I
in
think
my
they're
opinion.
about the same.
I think Jimmy Butler just has the edge on defense while still having that offensive threat in him. I think
I don't know. He shot like 24% from 3 this season.
No. I get that. But the offense isn't just 3-point shooting.
I know. But I feel like Jason Tatum is a better offensive player than Jimmy
No,
Butler.
he is. But Jimmy Butler is a better defender than Tatum. Then Tatum is a better offensive player.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay. And then I think they have is Kelly Olynyk starting at the 4?
I don't know. I know it's Bam.
They've
Bam at the
been
5.
Yeah, Bam's at the 5, which Bam is better than Cantor. But the Heat have been moving around their starting 5 a lot this year. Sometimes Kendrick Nunn is starting, sometimes Dragic is. So
I just feel like on any given night, Kemba, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown could all drop 25 plus on the same night.
They can drop 3/4 of the team's points.
And Jimmy Butler could drop 20, 25, and then
somebody. I mean, they have Daniel Tice, too, coming off the bench, who's been playing super well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I just don't feel like the Heat have the offense to keep up with the Celtics.
That's true. Keep it going, man. Just go to the finals. So you got Lakers and Celtics in the finals.
Lakers-Celtics. Classic matchup.
Wow. Yeah. So who do you got in that?
I don't know. That's tough because obviously LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are arguably the 2 best players in the league right now in the playoffs. But Kemba's not a seasoned vet in the playoffs either, so who's going to... I don't think Danny Green can guard Kemba Walker either. I think Kemba would walk all over him. So, obviously LeBron would guard Jason Tatum. So I think LeBron could shut him down pretty easily. He might still score like 20, but LeBron's going to score 38 and have 14 assists.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Lakers in 7.
You got a lot of 7-game series.
Yeah, because those are entertaining.
Those are entertaining, but they don't happen that often. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. So Clippers Jazz, like I said, the Clippers are winning that, and then Lakers Rockets. Lakers are gonna win that. So you have the Clippers and the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. With how poorly they're playing, I think the Lakers will honestly kind of break down, even though the Clippers beat them in, I'm pretty sure, every game they played against them in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Clippers might take 2 games, maybe 3 at the most. So I don't see it going past 6 games. It could go to 7, but I highly doubt it. And then on the other side, so it's going to be Bucks Heat win that, and then And then Raptors, Celtics. Like I said, I think the Raptors win that. And I think, like I said, I think the Raptors are going to make the finals again. And I think they're going to put up a very valiant effort against the Lakers. But I think the Lakers win in like 6 again. So I just don't see anyone stopping LeBron hunting for his 4th championship?
Yeah,
Third?
it'll be 4-6 or 4-7 in the finals.
Yeah, so yeah. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Here's my final thought that's not really playoff related, but next year, watch out for the Nets, because here's the thing: Kevin Durant is the number 1 option on that team. That means Kyrie becomes the number 2.
And when Kyrie is the number 2 option, he is one of the
best players in the entire world.
Okay. My final thought, also not playoff related. The greatest thing that's ever happened to me happened the other night.
Okay.
And you'll know where I'm going with this. So, as a 76ers fan, it has been a struggle the past couple of years. We've made it far into the playoffs except for this year. And we just can't get it done. But finally, the Angels have come down from heaven and have told the 76ers head office to finally fire Brett Brown, who is one of the worst coaches in the entire NBA.
What's it? Can you explain to me his system?
His system is, I have basketball players, they play basketball. That's his entire system. Is
get the ball to Ben Simmons, Ben throw it to Joel.
Yeah, that's it. Move the ball around. Okay, coach, what else? Just move the ball around.
It's like Parks and Rec coaching.
Yeah, it's terrible, but now we're going to get a new coach. Hopefully it's a better one.
You might get what was his name? Monty Williams, the Pelicans coach that just got fired?
Oh, yeah.
Or Alvin Gentry, that's his name.
Yeah, Alvin Gentry. I don't know. He might be, honestly, a good coach for us.
Or is it?
Because he's dealt with good big men before, so with Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Frisdale got fired too, so
we'll see. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the FadeAway podcast. Make sure, if you haven't already, go ahead and follow us on our socials on Facebook. It is the FadeAway podcast, and every other social, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Oh yeah, the TikTok.
Before it gets banned. It's going to be FadeAway Pod _. So we appreciate you listening. Hope you have a great day.